were like, okay, like, let's figure out who we want to interview. Like, let's make a list. And I was like, Monica. And you're like, well, this is like a 2-person decision. I was like, Monica. And you're like, all right, let's meet with her.
You know, the funny thing is, I never told you guys this, but when I became a single agent, I saw you guys on the catwalk, and I saw you guys, I was like, oh, man, I wish they were like hiring. That's perfect.
Oh.
Honestly, it was like a quick thought, but
Yeah.
it's funny how it worked out.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Small Town Famous. We talk a lot about leveraging different things in our business and the growth mindset that we have. So today we have our newest teammate, Monica Ross. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
We're very excited to have Monica. It's been about a year that she's been on the team. So we're just kind of like gonna drill her with a bunch of questions about how it's been working for us.
Tell us about the story. Like, what made you decide to want to get into real estate?
Well, honestly, I've been wanting to do real estate since high school, fresh out of high school, which would have been, the smartest thing to do. But obviously life got in the way. I had a kid at 19, so kind of between being 19 to 22, 23, I was kind of stuck in the midst of just working and working for the paycheck, not for what I love. Fast forward, I've met Jason through work, and he basically was the one who kind of opened up my eyes and told me, you have so much potential, and you becoming a manager and just growing into the service industry is not for you. You should definitely focus on something that you really want to do. And here I am, real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy you're here.
Yeah, no, we're definitely happy
Excited to be here.
you're here. And, we mentioned before when we talked about you that, so you worked in our office, and, 2022 for us was like, we grew a lot, as a business, and, we relied on a lot of other agents in the office, and you're always there to to help us out.
Right.
And you're great with, talking to our clients, everything that, we ever needed you to do. Then we're like, Chris and I'm like, we got to hire her. Like, she's like, this is like exactly, the help, that we need. I think she would be interested. And, then Kristen was kind of like, let's just do it. Like, we got to do it. You had talked about how, meeting with your fiance, he kind of unlocked, your potential into, you want to become a real estate agent. So, like, what are some of your goals that you have for this year? We just talked about capping. Like, where do you see yourself going this year, in real estate?
Well, I did pretty good last year joining your team, and I think my personal goal would be to double that, and I think I can definitely meet that. Before I joined your team, I was more of a 50-50 agent. I was only half-time agent, half-time bartender, and didn't focus on one, and that was kind of the problem. That was also veering me away from being able to be 100% there for my son as well. So for you guys to tell me that I was able to help you see your kids all the time, I think it's vice versa with me. You guys were able to help me focus on real estate 100%, where that helped me be able to get time with my son as well. So I think that's a huge thing coming up this year, is that I feel way more comfortable being able to do that.
Good. It's really hard to go 100% into real estate, because with something like bartending, you get the money that day.
Yeah, it's the same thing though. If you don't put 100% to bartending, some days you don't have money, sometimes you have a lot of money, but you have to be there full time to be making full-time money.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing for real estate. So it's tough. I was in the in-between for the last 2 years, and for you guys to be like really reassuring for me, that really helped out for me to step out of that bartending. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Huge, right?
You were on a team before,
Right.
and then you were a solo agent, and now you're on a team again. Do you like being on a team?
Honestly, I told you guys I didn't see myself being on a team again.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wanted to be up by myself, but that wasn't going to work out for me. That was, once again, my mindset was stuck on making money regardless of where it was coming from, and not focusing on the one thing that was important, was lead generation. And that was what you guys kind of made me accountable on, and it worked out.
Kendall,
For sure.
Yeah.
You helped me with all the other
I help with all emotional issues.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, to that point, there's, different dynamics to the team. And like Kristen's definitely more support role.
She's been through it all.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys in that standpoint, and you're both moms doing real estate, like you connect, on that level. I'm football, like operations, this background, but it's the balance of the both is because like we got to keep each other accountable,
right?
And like the numbers, the analytics, those are the things that are like, all right, we got to hit these metrics. Okay, when you actually talk to the client, this is what you got to say. Like the balance of learning both that from the both of us is what one, it makes us better too, because like for us, like when we told you when we first sat down with you, we're like we're freaking this thing out together. So like it's not going to be perfect, but like our heart's always going to be in the right place. We're always going to try to get better. And like we 100% value your opinion. So like, let us know certain things, or whatever it may be. Like your opinion is valued, and I think it's just like a testament to where we're trying to build this thing, and we're extremely excited to have you be on this journey with us, because I mean we're a married couple, like let's be real. You see me and Kristen kind of like jab at each other and like roll our eyes.
I love it. Like I'm normal because they're doing it too. I thought when I first joined, I had so many agents from different places reach out. Oh my gosh, you just joined the Reyes home team. Yeah. We love that. Aww. Yeah, so you guys are definitely well known for sure.
So we've had like some crazy moments this year. I remember, I forget what it was, but you called and you were like, you asked me advice on something, and I was like, oh yeah, like been there, done that. And we went through, and you were like, oh my God, Kristen, I would have started crying if I didn't call you. Like, but so what do you think was like the craziest moment that you had this year, or like the funniest or most embarrassing?
Right. I've had plenty. For sure. Firsthand.
We have one that we don't speak of.
No, exactly. The second one was when I accidentally showed a neighbor's home that beside the listing that I was actually supposed to go see. Obviously it's like, how do you mess that up as a real estate agent?
But they were two houses that looked exactly the same, weren't they?
So technically, yes. So there were 5. There was a cul-de-sac, and it was subdivided into 5, and they were all kind of the same format. But the problem was there's no numbers or mailboxes around, and the list agent put the for sale sign in front of the connected driveway. So obviously I'm going to the one closest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was just a long day. It was embarrassing.
She went and showed the whole wrong house and took photos in the basement.
Exactly.
And then texted them to the agent, was like, hey, like, do you know what this is? And the agent's like, that's not in this house.
Yes. I was like, no. It's the house. We were there. The truck was there. I even called because we were late from the first showing. And I was like, yeah, the truck is here. I know you said the sellers are going to be here. I just don't want to scare them. Can you let them know that I'll be here? So door's unlocked. There's a dog. I even spoke to the neighbor, and his main concern was, my dog didn't attack you? No.
You're like, this beast that we have sitting in the house.
Yeah. So Monica had to tell the listing agent what happened, and the listing agent had to tell the neighbor, because now, like, there was an intruder in the neighbor's house, right? Like, Monica. And so, she's saying that neighbor was, his primary concern was, like, why didn't my dog attack you when you came in the house?
Well, it makes sense. Well, all in all, when I, spoke to him, and I was like, I promise you there was no ill intent entering your home. Yeah. He felt better about it. But
maybe
he took out my name.
To lock his door. Like,
his garage was fully open as well, and
I would have done the same thing. And and I told you when you shared that I had a similar story. I didn't actually go in the house, but same thing. It was two houses it was like a brown house, green roof, like weird part of town.
Right.
Both were for sale. I saw the first one. It was listed by Karen, whatever her last name was. Green, brown house, green, whatever. Walk up, knock on the door. I'm like, hey, we have a showing right now, all this other stuff. And the lady's like, she's like, you sure? I was like, we just went under contract. I'm like, bro, Like now I'm embarrassed because I'm thinking that we just went on that this house that I'm showing we just went under contract. So I'm texting the agent. I'm like, hey, did you guys just go under contract? She's like, no. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Then as I'm like starting to figure this out, I was like, I definitely have a showing right now. Then the owner of that drawing house, she's like, there's another house on the other side of the trees that's for sale too. And of course, as I go up, it's, the brown house, green roof, listed by Karen, whatever, whose last name was off by like 2 letters. And I'm just like, well, it happens, but I definitely didn't go in, but like it happened. Like it's, that's just part of it. So
it was an hour's worth of
fiasco.
Looking around. My buyer, as soon as I called him and let him know, he's like, are the cops out to get me already? I'm like, oh no, because he's not from America, so he's just assuming like, oh my gosh, what are the rules? I'm like, I promise you, no, we didn't have any problems. We're all set.
It's so bad.
Didn't end up putting an offer in, of course.
Well, because he didn't see
I was like, you didn't see the house.
He was more concerned about the land, and the land wasn't developable because it was just up a cliff. So.
Do you think we should just written an offer for the one that you did see?
That's what he wanted to do, but he wanted to talk to the developer. Oh yeah, you know what? I told him that I was like, maybe we could reach out to the seller if you really like it.
Neighbor.
But yeah.
That's too funny. So we got kind of like embarrassing, moment. Like I said, it happens. But like, what would say top moment, best moment, or like what was like a good feel good moment that that you had this year?
Honestly, as cliche as it sounds, signing papers with you guys. As soon as I signed those papers, you guys made me feel like I was part of the team since day one. So, I mean, I think that was my favorite part last year. It just went up from there, so how can you say anything else is better than that?
Well, Kristen just called me out for crying on the last episode. I'm really, really, really trying to hold these ones back, but...
No, I appreciate you guys.
I'm gonna go look this way. Kristen, you do the next question.
What do you think is a big takeaway from this year, from like what you've learned or what you do differently now maybe than you did before or anything like that?
I think learning how to be in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I think that, but when I first started, you guys kept helping me with, how to get comfortable. And that was a huge thing for me. I was always so nervous. I was nervous to get on this podcast. And obviously, you guys make me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
The getting in front of, you just have to practice to be good at, the video. But, I feel like you've gotten great.
Yeah, definitely. I think I needed the practice and just to get in front of it, you know.
And it's hard too because you have to have stuff to talk about,
right.
Mm-hmm. But so like once you start you're in this full time, so you just like have more stuff that you can talk about. When you're like a part-time agent or you're just doing helping a couple people a year, it's like
What are you doing?
What else am I going to say today?
Well, it's also sometimes intimidating when we're like...
I don't mean...
Kristen.
Me and Monica like, hey, let's make this video today, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, I'm like, you like that script? I'm like, yeah. Then Kristen's like, so today, blah, 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 I sold, blah, blah, this, that, and the other. I like, comment, boom. It's like, oh, I got 5 DMs today. Someone wants to sell their house. Yeah. I'm like...
Still working on it.
You know what? This script kind of sucks. I'm gonna go cold call some people. But me and Monica definitely had those moments where we understand each other. But it's like it's a testament to one that like you put in the time.
Yeah.
And I've had the awkward moments in front of the camera, and it's like it's a muscle that you need to exercise and flex. And we made it a point to do it more so ourselves. And I would say like I'm still not 1,000% comfortable, especially with that type of being in front of the camera, but like I feel like I'm getting better at it. And same thing with Monica, like that one you did, and like the one you did with your son, like that was
so funny. Yeah,
that was incredible. But it's like that's like that's the core of our business is like we're on the camera, we're on social media. That's how people find us. So it's like we need to be present. Yeah. So,
but I think also like you don't need to be me, and you don't need to be me. Like we can all be our own people. So like if you prefer doing like the professional content, like having someone else video you and you know what you're going to say ahead of time and you're really good at that. Whereas I just feel awkward doing that and I would rather talk to my phone, you know, and like Monica does well doing the professional stuff, and she's great like at the houses doing tours and stuff.
Yeah.
But like we don't, you know, we don't all have to do the same content. It's like find
Your niche.
what you like and
Yeah.
what you're comfortable doing, and then talk.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like I'd like to be able to do a left-handed layup, but you know, sometimes until you start doing it, like you gotta go for it. So yeah, I mean, like to your point, it's like one, you do gotta do with what you're comfortable with and what you like doing, but I'm like to expand and to grow, you do gotta put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and because on the other side of, you know, vulnerability and being uncomfortable is opportunity. So it's like, why limit ourselves because, you know, we just believe we can't do it? I'm like, just do it.
If
just
I
figure
can
it
do
out.
You can do it.
Yeah, I mean,
No, if you can do it,
Like-
you can do it. If Kendall can do it, I can do it.
yeah, exactly. So
Oh,
Well, definitely. I
Well-
mean, obviously, that's already improving in all of us, so that's awesome. I think when I first joined the team, to now, you guys have tripled followers.
yeah.
Yeah. And so it's awesome.
yeah,
hopefully you have to.
No.
I've actually admittedly lost some followers, but I would say the bulk of my personal followers was probably from when I was playing football, and they're probably like, "Why the hell is this guy talking about real estate all the time?"
Like, why is he selling these split levels in Southern New Hampshire?
But at that same point, I'm gaining more
Ideal clients.
ideal clients,
that's
people
true.
that are interested in what I'm doing now. So which is kind of funny. Chris is she said the other day, she's like, "Oh, like all these people I start following our page that saw me on TikTok." I'm like, "Oh, I lost 8 followers." Well,
Nice.
I was like, when you win, we all win. So
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fun part of being on our team.
yeah.
No one takes it too seriously. For anyone who you think wants to get into real estate, what would your advice to them be?
I think the biggest thing is just go all in. It's you can get there going, part time, but it's gonna take you way longer.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
want to go all in, put best foot forward. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I'm watching someone in my family go through the whole licensing and whatever right now. And I'm like, oh my God, we have got to make this more efficient of a process. Like you come into this industry, and if you're in a big brokerage that has all the technology at your fingertips, you're learning like 10 new platforms, and you don't know what any of them do, and you're just trying to figure it out. And then you don't have any clients, but they're like, oh, just like go start telling people that you're a real estate agent. That's what we did. Like we were on our way down to a Patriots game 6 years ago, like this weekend. And we were like, guess what, guys? Like, we just got our real estate licenses. Yeah. We had no idea what we were doing. And we did not know any of the systems, but they were like, just tell people you're a real estate agent, and then you'll figure out the other stuff later. And like, me and you, we would be so frustrated because we're like, because dot loop. What is dot loop? Like, we had no idea.
I'm so glad the first house that we sold was our own.
Yeah.
So we could like, oh, okay, like
We
at least I'm my own client, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah, because
but-
there was no like fake transaction to go through.
Yeah.
Like
It's real, it's live
for
bullets.
us, anyways. Maybe it's better now, but
Yeah.
oh my God,
Nope,
This is-
no fake ones.
yeah. You have to
It's
get
live
through that
bullets.
first few months and be okay with probably not having a paycheck for like 3
Yeah.
months to get through to where you even have the possibility of making money.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked to bunch of agents, and like even ourselves. Like that first year, it's almost like considered like being in college, like in the school year, because it's like if you happen to make money, great, but like there's so much to learn, so much that you go through in that first year. I mean, there's so many successful teams like that we know, and they're like, yeah, like what did we sell, like 6-7 houses our first year, and they're like, you sold 7 houses your first year? I'm like,
Well,
I was like,
yeah,
I'm
two
like,
people
I was like, there's
together.
2 of us. I was like, they're like,
2 of the transactions were our own.
yeah, and to our own, but they're like, no, they're like, trust me, that's good. We're like,
Still good. Yeah.
we're like, all right, we're trusting you, like, but it's like,
We're like on a roll.
maybe we'll get to 8 next year, but it's like you got to go through it. I mean, it's just like anything, any profession. you're not, you start up a new job right now, especially in sales, like you're not gonna, just be there in that first year. But it's like, if you kind of approach it, with the mindset that I'm gonna soak everything up, I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna gain experience by talking to other agents. That learning curve, happens much quicker. I mean, I remember our first year, I was like constantly on the phone with Salah, and I'm like, Salah was 18 years old, but he was like 6 months ahead of us. But I'm like, so he knew 6 months more stuff than I did. And I'm just like, I'm like, how do you do this? How do you do this? But I'm just like, it's those conversations. It was the trainings. It was like us reaching out to the other agents is what allowed us to learn a little bit, quicker. And, obviously now like being part of a team, I told everyone, I was like, if I was like, just like a solo agent, I probably would have just joined a team from the beginning, because you learn all those processes. They hold you accountable and all that other stuff from the beginning. Then when you feel like you're ready, you could branch off. And I know we're talking about you just joining our team, and we would love to have you forever. But like, I want, like, truly, I want you to be in the position to where you thrive with us, and you're like, and essentially like you graduate and go off on your own. Obviously, we're still going to be referral partners,
Yeah, absolutely.
but like, that's our goal.
When you guys move to Florida, right?
Yeah, but like our goal is for you to just grow so much and like have like this world of confidence that like you could really conquer everything on your own. And like, that's our job. Like, our job is to get you there. And then it's us, the effort, and the effort that we're putting in to you is like is ultimately what's going to make you the top agent in this area. And that's the dreams, the goals that we have for you, and we know that you have the same. So
Sure, exactly.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited.
I mean, the hope is to stay together, right?
No, I mean, like, it's like I said, that relationship, is always gonna be. And like I said, we'll have you as long as you want to stay with us. But like, my point was being is like, we want you just to take off, and and that's our goal. For you is just become a titan in this industry, and then be like, when I started off, with the Reyes home team, they got here, and then I was there. Like, that'd be cool. We appreciate that little shout out when you're doing speeches in New York City and you're on $1 Million Listing. Like, that's what we want for you, because we know you could do it. And we absolutely know you're more than capable. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
For sure. I think the first year in itself, it showed a lot, just being on your team. It's the biggest, year I have yet, and it's not going to be the biggest year I ever have. So it's
like
awesome.
the first stepping stone.
Exactly.
Exciting.
I'm excited for sure.
yeah. What we've been doing, like, on our podcast, is now adding just some hot takes, where we'll just pepper you with some questions, just see what your initial knee-jerk reaction is.
Sure.
I know Kristen has some, so I'll let her
You
start.
can go first.
Me?
Or I guess I can just do a funny one.
Okay.
When Kendall and I are fighting in the office, do you tend to take my side or Kendall's side more often?
I close my ears and don't listen. I look
She's,
away.
like, rolling her eyes.
I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not going to get in between this. I smirk a little in the corner, but I do not pick sides at all.
Is this just like watching, like, what is, like, like Bravo, where you're just, like, entertained by, like, the drama that's going on? That was actually my first question, too.
Oh, sorry.
Because you saw my hot takes.
I didn't see them.
All right. What is your favorite place to eat in I guess our area that we work?
Honestly, Prest has kind of been too much lately.
Yeah.
I like Copper Door. Copper Door is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Coconuts pretty good.
I love Copper Door. Monica, it's been an absolute pleasure, working with you, and we're so excited that, you're going through this journey with us, and, that we've all gotten closer over, this year as well, families and things like that. And there's still so much out there for us to conquer together.
Sure.
And
We gotta get her like 20 more of those houses on.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We got 100.
happen.
We got to get 100 this year, and so we're gonna do it. We're all in, and we could officially say that you're small town famous. So
Yes. I've been asking for it. Just kidding. I haven't. I'm not asking. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah.
Definitely loved it.
Sweet. Good job, guys.